Blacklist versus RSG. And here we will find out if this is going to work out. Have you seen Renegade on the Navari yet? I know you're the Renegade.
Okay, I'll be honest, it's not the first time he'll be playing this, alright? I can say that much. But knowing the young man's skill set, I'm not so sure this is the right call. But if they win, hey, you got away with it!
We know Renegade is one of the action jacks, as we call it in Mplph. Phillips with the Oheb and Eman though.
Whoa! Sheesh! Wow. Oh, Eman showing us a new side of him this early on, a minute in. Obliging Oheb. And now Oheb using that regen very smart. I wonder, are they going to force something here? Because this is a huge presence from Blacklist down bot.
Yes, speaking of force and pressure, this is the idea of Blacklist International right now. They have, folks, they have the Impurage hold.
Sensui here, putting himself in a great position, but Light already spending that flicker. No dice, still 0 kills at a minute and a half.
Okay, no surprise, flicker combo from Light from this Edith, but going to the emblems right now that Blacklist International is rocking. We have Impurage as well as we have Quantum Charge. This is agility and also you have sustain. So this is the way that we're seeing that they have the ways to initiate the back line of RSG. At the same time, they have movement speed, but at the same time, they have so much dive right now for Irad that they can actually utilize. But for the side of RSG, we're looking at the same quantum charges and also poke for this XP laner for Nats. We're seeing this most of the favored emblem for this kinds of burst heroes such as the X-Borg. Also for Impurage, it's an interesting take on how would he capitalize his burst as hitting level 4 and level 6.
And now we are going to be slowly watching as Blacklist are getting a foothold of this turtle. Of course, not going to be left out here by RSG.
Yep.
Nats seems to be very, very ready to go for a fight.
There's the penalty zone, but not the Irad. He doesn't mind. Now, like very low, uses the primal wrath, and we're still going. Bonk! Aqua gets out of there. Down goes Edward. That's another casualty, 1 for 1, as per side, but RSG comes out on top with a slight lead, 1,000 ahead, and that turtle in tow.
Yeah, that is the sustain of Blacklist International, having the vision, having the brave smite, and also the body of Smith. Edward utilized more of the passive as well as the flicker ult combo, and having that astral echo used right at the moment that RSG was in the position, that was completely Renegade activating more of the hits that their skill set can do with all of heroes present. But clearly RSG is trying to amp up their early game because as of this point, they're growing their damage with Eman.
Yeah, we're going to see Oheb definitely have a harder time here, despite Renegade obviously trying very, very hard to keep him in check. Now, Eman and Light, a very, very aggressive combo here, especially with Light on this Edith. Like you mentioned though, Sex, who seem to be very active and very ready to take these fights as long as the Earth Shatter and Onward combo is active happening right now!
Speaking of which, there we go! The Gush gonna be able to keep Sensui, but no! Irad takes him down! And with that, RSG get another big victory in mid. Call it just 1 kill, but no, that's a jungler right in the mid game. And now Eman coming in. He still has a BMI out. Just playing footsies with Oheb and Renegade.
That is just Light using the surprise mostly on the bushes in the mid lane. We're looking at Irad now being so slippery in the backline of Blacklist International. That's the thing. They might want to capitalize on one defensive item because as of this time that Irad has now the Hunter Strike, we're looking at the standard slowly building up the standard items for Hayabusa, but this amps more of the passive of the damage that a Hayabusa can do.
Yep, after each basic attack, you get more movement speed. That makes your shadows all the more dangerous, given the mobility. Light coming in forward. And you know what? I gotta say, under 5 minutes, I was expecting this Novari on Renegade to be, less than ideal. But it's doing its job. So yeah, that is a pleasant surprise for me. Now, RSG with the pull. Gonna get this turtle reset. No dice.
All right.
It looks like
no dice.
Timing is going to be on Blacklist side. They're able to delay.
In fairness, I mean, every second that Blacklist will buy is going to help so much in their favor. Gotta wait for, of course, Oheb to get to that free shot or 2-shot moment here for this hero. Of course, oh my goodness! I don't know why RSG didn't take that. Maybe a little bit tad too cautious.
Yep, this is something I noticed over the past day of broadcast already. We're a day into week 1. It looks like RSG's not too shy to give up things that aren't on the to-do list as per the fundamentals. Don't you agree, Francis?
Yeah, I agree. Because at some point, they completely had a way to disengage Blacklisht International's right on those kinds of team fights. They know they had the damage, but mostly it would rely on Irad. Because Ammon right now is not yet activated, and most of the pokes, they can rely on Aqua. But they don't want to, again, use that sacrifice at this early point in time.
Oh, there it is! Here comes Light, catches a face full of Mystic Gush, taken down by the MVP machine. And there's an Astral Echo to make sure RSG don't push on forward. Blacklisht blows back.
Not even with the retry. It's just with pure game sense that Sensui is able to take one out under a tower, by the way, alongside his teammates. Very good coordination from Blacklisht.
Well, speaking of coordination, having Renegade set up the fight with the Astral Recall and Echo again is an activated attack from Blacklisht International. To think that Edward just prioritized more on the blade armor, he wanted that attribute of having a crit damage reduction, because knowing that there's so much damage that they can actually get from Irad and also from Eman, he can actually be the front line here. So sometimes if you're a Teresa, you opt to actually go for the Bloodlust Axe or even for the Dominance Ice, but now he's on a defensive move to be on the front line of Blacklisht International, which is doing good.
Yeah. Frontline Blacklisht right now, again, their main course is to just buy time, but they're doing a good job as well as poking down RSG, which is so crucial for them. If RSG fights with the full HP lineup, I think they are about to lose. But right now, they are doing their very best. At least keep Aqua below half, keep Nats in check as well, so he doesn't go with a full-fledged Faraga armor explosion. And now we are going to see another trail take here. Let's see what they got to show.
Talking about an explosion, Nats gets his life cut.
Whoa! Whoa!
What happened? Whoa! Ammon is down, Sensui gets the turtle. It seems to all be crumbling for the Raiders. And now Nats gets caught out. This turret down, tier 1 and forward! Point blank! The Filipino sniper is in the building! Haji on the Mystic Gush with the flicker. Distance is not a problem. Emma just fall down. He just got his golden staff, but that was not even a problem. That was just Renegade taking the kill. And Blacklisht clearly winning that objective, and also the lead slowly growing on to the team alone. And RSG is now looking for ways to come back with the damage that they got from Blacklisht International. This is quite the turnaround. Again, 8 minutes in, Blacklisht approaching 1.5, almost 2K gold lead. Aqua in trouble. It's knocked out by Sensui. Nats, the enforcer, pushing them back. I gotta say, Blacklisht has gotten away with it now that we're ramping up into the mid-game. This is as good as it gets for a lineup that has Renegade on a Novaria.
Well, let's count that in the hero pool of Renegade starting today. And this is not a problem. Oh, meanwhile, well, she pokes in the mid.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, man. Is this the first time the Blacklisht had a lead all throughout this game? It took them a while, but they're getting there. They're getting that gold lead, and they're getting the pressure that they want, especially on top side. Although, of course, RSG will not take this lying down.
Yep. Light and Aqua to the rescue. I think RSG, the Raiders, are onto them. Blacklisht, they've been beaten down on Eman. Eman has had one of the hardest early games that he's had in the calendar year of 2023. So with that said, it seems like Blacklisht, their shenanigans are about to come to an end. I'm looking at this gold lead to stay this close and this tight as we lead into this first Lord.
So on the other hand, of course, RSG, they also have that rock in the win condition they have on Eman, who's not even rocking the Ixia right now. I think with this plot, he means business. That's the scary thing for RSG. Although I think Blacklisht, they're handling it quite well, OSX, right?
Well, speaking of handling out the damage, it's the prime target of Blacklisht to take down the winning condition, as you said, for RSG. One thing they have now to capitalize on is the ultimate of Nats and also Irad. Mostly Aqua is looking for ways to capitalize more on his ultimate, but that is just 3 main damage dealers for RSG. But Nats with almost half, almost depleting his Viraga arm, but Sensui trying to poke in Light as well. But meanwhile, down bottom, we have a push from Emma.
All right, they're just making the most of the absence here. This is a 4v5. Coming in! And Light's very low. They survive. Last Insanity coming in. Throwing out everything but the kitchen sink. And Aqua falls. Nat follows through as Eman cuts him deep. That's a double kill for Legend Z.
7 here for Blacklist International. They will get that Lord, but of course Eman is doing work on that bottom lane as well. So it's not it's not a play without a consequence here for Blacklist.
Yeah, it didn't come for free, but it's a bargain. Can I just say, it's a bargain. I appreciate what this is the last we're going to see of Light, at least for a few seconds, as Oheb scores another.
Okay, Black capitalizing more on those opportunities when RSG is just all over the place. Yes, that was the gamut we're aiming for Eman. Having now the corrosion side, this is more likely building on the damage department they can do as their winning condition. But one thing they're also hungry for is the objectives. That meanwhile is just slowly being taken by Blacklist International against
Here we go, last Insanity out just to survive. An Astral Echo to keep a beat on him. Blacklist making the call, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
This is a free push. Let's go ahead. Mid, top, even bottom. Dear Lord. They had Lord working for him, too.
It's an indirect effect, Leo, but Renegade, the hitman, he's making sure that RSG is just not ready to take these fights. And because of that, Blacklist are winning at every turn.
Yep, Vision is his middle name. Renegade, Vision, Bakar, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what he's bought for this young squad. Blacklist International making moves on the map. I could have sworn with just your peel as a Terizla and a Fredrin. This is as greedy as it gets, and I'm loving it. I'm here for it. 7-2, about 4,000 gold ahead. This is amazing. What a bounce back from day one.
Oh yeah, this is just clearly a good recovery from Blacklist International. And to think that the damage right now of Haji utilizing mostly almost that Flicker and Mystic Gush combo, now with an amplified glowing wand, Scorch damage will pierce through RSG. So with the defense department right now they're seeing from the Raiders, it was just on screen, right on time. We're looking at Radiant Armor and as well Dominance Ice, and just right now, Light just got his Athena Shield.
Here we go! Irad finally shutting down Haji. Their first kill in quite a while.
Oh, man. And Irad, he had to really work for that, right? He really had to do his best to get in a position where he could do that. Now, is it enough, though, to stop our Blacklist right now? We seem to be just nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, and to look at the damage department of Blacklist International right now, we're looking at Leslie. Also, we're looking at Oheb as well as build. We have the Berserker's Fury, we have the BOD, and also we have the Azure Blade, building up to his final items for this Leslie. One of the economies early game was the Vision, but the damage right now, him being on the lead for Blacklist International, is a secure way to just completely maintain this lead. Almost 3K. But one thing that we're also seeing here is the burst and poke of Haji and also Edward, which is deadly on how RSG would actually sustain this kinds of lore dances. But at this point, they would need to see the possible angles on how Blacklist actually enter.
Now, here we go. And this Lord dance is so critical right now that everyone is...
Oh, Renegade!
Oh! Renegade, though! Irad has had enough.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That is karmic justice. You don't play an Avaria against a dive lineup like this and not get it coming. Now, it's a 4v5. Lord already started up, approaching the halfway point. It's just Sui, isolated away from his teammates. Nats drawing a line between them. They're just waiting for them to oblige. A flicker in. Pop in the Faraga armor. Here comes Life. Primal Wrath coming in. Penalty zone and the gush. Eman falls. Who's going to take the Lord? And Light falls. Sui Instinct scores. Ladies and gentlemen, Blacklist are crossing the river. It's just Irad left. Aqua way too far. And just like that, Blacklist taking it slow, forcing out a shadow kill. Can Irad survive? No, the answer is no. The Filipino sniper takes down the shinobi, and Aqua is all that's left.
Irad, I have to say, he tried so hard. He tried so hard to make a dent to the offensive that Blacklist is going to do right now, which might be just very difficult to stop. Right now. Oh my God, are they going to run it down?
Here we go, just one siege minion taken care of. But just like that, they're going to go back on the offensive, sieging up top. They got this last inhibitor, this one turret left in the top lane. And now the Lord throwing out the Astral Echoes. They got beaten everybody. Hitboxes amplified. Lord shrunken down to pieces. And RSG, successful defense.
This is just purely the sustain and defense of the nature of Blacklist International's lineup. If you look back, look at that. We are now looking at Immortality onto Sensui and also Divine Glaive onto this Gord, Haji. Right now, every hit, every projectile, even gush that RSG can even take is actually a depleting defense from their end. Because we're looking at Arena Armor, even as the issue, but from just coming from 2 members, they need to have a good defense right now, even from their base, and even from the 3 members of Blacklist International.
Wait. Hold taking him out! And as if that wasn't enough, an astral recall into a meteor, and the Hitman finds its mark.
There's just too much, Leo. There's just too much that RSG has to deal with all the way from downtown.
That's 3 projectiles coming at you. There's only so much left in the
Look
Matrix.
at that.
And now Aqua put down, cut down the side, down to 1/8 of his health. This is a 5v4 situation, and they're doing their damnedest to protect this inhibitor. And it looks like Blacklist has had enough. No more!
Oh no, they're now pushed to their own base. RSG, by the presence of Renegade alone, activates more of Blacklist International to even poke members of RSG. Right now, in the defense department of RSG, needs to even be a strong factor for how to defend even Blacklist International's lineup. Because of this point, we're looking at Claude now has the Rose Gold meter. He needs to have that extra defense because most likely he is, again, the winning condition that we were talking about early on for the damage of RSG. That's why right now we're looking at the cameras that he's trying to make a way to push some of the minions and waves, but they need also to be careful on where are they coming from. The positioning of RSG right now could be so crucial because at any point in time, once Renegade opens up his ultimate, they can actually reveal mostly of RSG's position on where they're heading at. Because right now there's so much hungry for clears, even for the objectives. Even by this lord, we really want to contest this.
It's so counterintuitive. Renegade being known as one of the best tank roamers player out there. Being so good at the Navari right now. Who is just poking the heck out of RSG right now, which is definitely giving them so many troubles in this game. Now coming to this next Lord fight, what's RSG's game plan here?
I guess they're looking to make a play for that top lane, the tier 2. And Nat pulls the trigger on the Faraga armor, knowing that the Lord got reset. So yeah, Edward playing man-to-man defense on that. And Nat feels the full wrath of that astral meteor. And just like that, RSG are spaced out of this Lord, which, good news, bad news. Bad news is Blacklist got it. Good news, though, for the agents is it's all theirs. So all the more, 0 lords for the Raiders.
Yeah, with that, also they get a free flow from up top. Also, Amon was trying to do the work on a 0-2-0 KDA. He's now making, again, a chance for getting his items in. He has the Malefic Roar now in his probably 4th slot because they need more extra penetration because of the distance that the Blacklist International is making. Yes, they have a ways to even burst everything down, but one thing they need to do here is to outlast that damage. Having the immortality present, having the space that actually Irad can make, could make a big difference to initiate the fight from RSG. But how can they defend even by this just their base alone? And there's a Lord push.
Here we see Sensui very low. In comes the Faraga armor, blasted out. Last insanity. Sensui's immortality popped, and they're still here. Immortality's out. Eman taken down. The Lord swinging away at the base. Light Prime